we can reference back to their hardships that they experienced in life growing up during a world war, being able to escape Hungary in 1956 and to come to this country. This, I believe, has hardened them, and it also had taught them about, you know, self-sacrifice and sticking together as a team.
Every memory that I have of Martam pertains to them. Watching my mom do paperwork in the kitchen, my dad bringing work home, the stresses, the frustrations.
It was kind of a symbiotic relationship between the two of them. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like a defined, she's helping out with Martam. It wasn't like that at all. She was a support system at home.
My mom, she was the backbone. I mean, she kept everything together, you know. She had all these crazy boys to deal with, and my dad working late all the time.
My old man built, but she was the steady hand that guided him, because I'll tell you what, she took care of him when he came home.
There was always the meal ready, clothes were ready, shoes were cleaned and shined by me.
It was a big occasion celebration when he came home from work at 8 o'clock or whatever at night. Dad's home, you know, we'd all get excited and run to him. She built our father up to us as though he is the strongest, most diligent. She loved that he was determined and motivated.
I mean, and my dad just set an example. He set an example for his kids. So, I mean, through his passion for work, relentless passion for work.
What all of us do now as siblings collectively, my dad had to do pretty much single-handedly.
My father, he was a workhorse. He worked 12 to 16-hour days when I was a kid growing up, many weekends.
He'd always come home and say, "Hey, Mo, what are you doing watching Three Stooges? You should be out working."
My dad would come in my room, he'd smell of sweet cologne, and he would be kicking me out of bed. "Get to work, don't be lazy."
He kind of instilled something into me that's kind of been very good, and it could be very bad in a lot of ways. That was obsessive compulsiveness with always staying busy and working.
I could probably think of things I'm not doing that he would have had me do, which would be being on twig patrol, which was when we first moved to this yard. You know, this was all farm field, so we cleared it and then we put stone. And I remember many times walking around this property with Tom, picking up sticks.
He put in a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, you know, and a lot of struggles there were in the early days. You know, the company went through a lot of tough times.
You had to put it all on the line because, I mean, we started with nothing. I mean, my dad was an engineer. He was around some pretty big movers and shakers, and some of them shook him down pretty good too.
You know, he had it up and down. I remember like 1980, 81, when inflation really hit, we had tough times.
Long story short, the bank, bonding company, everybody told him there was no turning back. You're gonna have to shut your doors. But he dusted himself off, picked himself up, said, well, I bought this machinery, I'm putting it to use, and I'm gonna make it.
The thing that I learned the most from Mr. Tom is don't get mad, get even. Don't repeat the mistake twice, and do good work as if you were doing it for yourself.
I think that's the whole goal of the game, is to get better, smarter, make money, do a good job, and build a good reputation.
I think satisfaction to the owner was his priority. Mr. Tom always wanted the owner to be really happy. Doesn't matter the cost, you have to satisfy the owner.
I noticed that when I came to work here right away. Tom would lose money to get the job done right. They're very big on giving the customer a quality job.
I'm not a number in the company. I mean, I feel I'm part of the family and part of the, pretty much part of the group here. We're a team.
My dad was blessed with a good core of wonderful, hardworking people. They set a bar that, you know, you can't even write it down, really.
A lot of people like Tom. My old man, he'd come out to the job, you would never tell he was the owner of the company. He'd be out there with his work boots on and pants, and he'd grab the shovel from you, he'd get on that machine, he'd be getting dirty alongside you. He set an example.
If you were in the middle of a task, Tom always, you know, got involved, helped out. I never felt that Tom acted like he was the owner or the boss. He just treated you like an equal.
I've always told the guys, I don't even feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm playing baseball and I'm getting paid for it. So, yeah, it's great.
This is like a home away from home for a lot of people. And that's probably the best way I can put it. But I think, you know, if you really want to pinpoint one thing that we've instilled from Tom and Maria, it's the ability to show loyalty and gain loyalty.